Struggling to remember key details about U.S. history and government for the Praxis 5004 Social Studies Subtest? This video will give you the confidence and strategies you need to succeed. I'm Elizabeth, a college professor and test prep expert with Study.com. Together we'll break down practice questions, spot context clues, and avoid common traps so you can walk into test day fully prepared. Today's focus is on U.S. history, government, and citizenship, core areas of the Praxis 5004. We'll work through real practice questions, explain the correct answers, and show why the others are wrong. Stick around to the end for important exam information. All right, let's get into it. Which of the following was a primary reason for the establishment of the Jamestown colony in 1607? Would it be A, to create a religious refuge for Puritans, B, to expand British trade and find gold, C, to establish a prison colony for debtors, or D, to escape political unrest in England? Let's keep our focus on the primary reason for the Jamestown colony. One study tip would be to review a timeline of early English settlements and know the motives behind each one. With that in mind, let's review the incorrect answers first, starting with A. This answer refers to the Puritans, who settled in Massachusetts, not Virginia. That came later. Plymouth colony was in 1620. The next distractor we can eliminate is option C. Option C was talking about a prison colony for debtors. That was in Georgia. It was partially established as a place for debtors, not Jamestown. Then we can eliminate option D. There was no significant political unrest prompting Jamestown's founding. It was driven by economic opportunity, which leads us to the correct answer. Option B, to expand British trade and find gold. Jamestown was the first permanent English settlement in North America, and it was backed by the Virginia Company, which was all about economic opportunity, primarily seeking wealth through trade and the discovery of precious metals like gold, which makes B the best choice. Which event directly led to the formation of the first Continental Congress in 1774? Would it be A, the Boston Tea Party, B, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, C, the French and Indian War, or D, the passage of the Intolerable Acts? For this question, I want you to focus on the sequence of events from 1763 to 1776. Knowing what came just before each major turning point will help you anticipate the correct answer. With that in mind, let's go ahead and eliminate the incorrect options first, starting with C, the French and Indian War. The French and Indian War ended in 1763, which set the stage for colonial unrest, like taxation, but it wasn't the direct trigger. Next, we can eliminate option B, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, because that happened 2 years later in 1776, so we would not choose that. Lastly, we can eliminate option A, the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party was a catalyst, but not the immediate cause. It led to the Intolerable Acts, which triggered the Congress. So that leaves us with the correct answer, option D, the passage of the Intolerable Acts. The Intolerable Acts, known as coercive acts, were passed in response to the Boston Tea Party and were viewed as punitive and unjust by the colonies. These laws united the colonies in protest, which sparked the formation of the First Continental Congress. A fourth grade teacher is explaining the difference between local and federal government responsibilities. Which of the following examples best illustrates a federal government responsibility? Would it be A, maintaining public schools, B, issuing marriage licenses, C, printing currency, or D, managing city police departments? This is a classic question on division of powers. My study tip would be to review which powers are delegated to the federal government, which are reserved for the states, and which ones are shared or concurrent. A simple chart can go a long way in your studying efforts. With that in mind, let's begin by eliminating the incorrect options first, starting with A. Public schools are maintained by state and local governments, so that would definitely not be a federal responsibility. Next, we can eliminate option B, issuing marriage licenses. Marriage licenses are also handled at the state level, not federal. Lastly, we can eliminate option D, managing city police departments. City police are definitely a local government responsibility. That leaves us with the correct option, C, printing currency. The Constitution gives the federal government control over currency, military, foreign affairs, and interstate commerce. Only the federal government has the constitutional authority to print and manage U.S. currency. Which of the following was a major cause of the Great Depression in the United States? Would it be A, the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, B, overproduction and the stock market crash of 1929, C, the end of the Korean War, or D, high tariffs imposed by Britain? My study tip for this question would be to focus on the causes of the major 20th century U.S. events, especially things like the Roaring Twenties, the crash of 1929, and New Deal reforms. With that in mind, let's go ahead and begin by eliminating the incorrect options first. We can eliminate option A. The Treaty of Versailles primarily affected Europe, and while it did have global consequences, it wasn't a main U.S. cause. Next, we can eliminate option D, high tariffs imposed by Britain. Britain's tariffs weren't a major factor. U.S. tariffs, like the Smoot-Hawley tariff, actually worsened the Depression. Next, we can eliminate option C. This distractor is a good reminder of why we need to review timelines of events, because the Korean War ended in the 1950s, long after the Great Depression. That leaves us with our correct option, which would be B, overproduction and the stock market crash of 1929. This question is rooted in basic economic principles. In the 1920s, businesses overproduced goods that consumers couldn't buy. Combined with stock market speculation and a crash in 1929, the economy spiraled into the Great Depression. Great work reviewing these U.S. history and government questions for the Praxis 5004. Now that you've worked through a few sample questions, let's explore the competency that this test is really measuring. The Praxis Elementary Education Social Studies Subtest 5004 assesses a candidate's understanding of U.S. history, government, geography, world history, economics, and civic responsibility for teaching grades K through 6. It tests knowledge of key historical events, democratic principles, map skills, and economic concepts such as supply and demand. The exam includes approximately 60 selected response questions to be completed in 60 minutes. Teachers must demonstrate an ability to analyze historical context, interpret geographic data, and apply foundational economic and civic concepts in elementary instruction. Preparing with maps, timelines, vocabulary, and practice questions can greatly enhance performance. If you need more support, Study.com has prep courses that include full-length practice exams, hundreds of realistic questions, and short video lessons to keep your studying focused. And 92% of users who use our courses pass their exams, so why not you? Got questions or need help with another competency? Drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If this video helped you, give it a like and subscribe for more targeted test prep. Thanks for watching, good luck, and happy studying!